This is going to probably seem contrary to everything we talk about on this channel, but I want to discourage you from designing directly in Illustrator and start with a quick sketch to just get the ideas out of your head. For a lot of you, that involves pencil and paper, and that's totally fine. But for those of you who want to stay digital, I'm going to show you some apps to help you do that. As much as I'm a proponent of using technology throughout your design development process, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you should also know that I am big on productivity and using the programs efficiently. And trying to draw directly in Illustrator while you're still playing with your design ideas is not making good use of your time. You need to be able to just get your ideas out, to doodle and play. This is why I usually tell my students to start with pen and paper or some form of freehand sketching so you can just draw. Now, I already talked about in this video 10 different apps that you can use on your iPad to design, and 5 of those were sketching apps that will allow you to just freehand sketch. So if you want to keep everything digital, and I hear you on that one, friend, I'm going to show you exactly what you should do. Before we get started, I just want to welcome you back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mikkel Drew Pelham. I make videos each week talking about digital fashion design software and communication. So if those topics interest you, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Glad to have you here. Okay, step 1 is to pick your favorite freehand app. That could be Procreate, Fresco, Photoshop, whatever you like. I'll be using Photoshop. Then import your Croquis template. I'll be using my new Curvy Girl template, and if you don't have your own and you'd like to use mine, make sure you check the description for a link to download it. Now, the key to this is keeping everything on a separate layer, or at the very least, keeping your freehand sketches on a layer separate from the template. That way you can quickly dress and undress the Croquis or turn the Croquis on and off as needed. Once you draw your quick sketches, and don't worry if they look a little wonky, that's why they're called roughs. Now you can add color, fabrics, and prints. And this is the part I really love most about doing this digitally. The first thing you can do is manually color in your sketch. So choose a brush, choose a color, and just start coloring in your design. Don't forget to do this on a layer separate from the sketch and the Croquis template. Adding fabrics or prints requires a few more steps, and every program will have slightly different steps, but they're all similar to what I'm about to do. First, import your fabric and resize if necessary. Make sure the fabric swatch is proportional to the size of your sketch, and that usually means you have to scale it down. Now, because you have to scale it down, you'll probably have to duplicate it and tile it a few times so that it's big enough to cover the area you want to fill. In Photoshop on the iPad, you have to duplicate each layer to make the tiles. So once I've created all the tiles I want, I merge all the layers so the fabric is only on one layer and I don't have to deal with multiple layers. Next, make sure your fabric layer is under the sketch layer if it's not already, and then you have a couple of options to see the fabric inside the sketch. The simplest thing to do is to just use an eraser and erase the fabric that's outside the sketch outlines. The only problem with that is if you make a mistake or you change your mind, that part of the fabric is gone for good, or you have to re-import it. What I prefer to do is create a mask. On the layer with the fabric, click the icon for Layer Mask. When you're in a layer mask, you will only be coloring with black or white. Black to cover up the fabric and white to expose it. So first, I go in with a bigger brush and a black foreground color and quickly cover areas outside of the sketch. And if you accidentally cover an area inside the sketch, no worries. We can always go back and refine. Now, I'll switch the foreground color to white, make the brush smaller, and color in areas of the sketch I might have covered up accidentally. And don't worry if there are some areas where the fabric falls slightly outside the lines of your sketch. It's a rough. It doesn't need to be perfect. The whole idea is to get your ideas out of your head and see them in potential fabrics and prints and colors you're thinking about using. As I mentioned, the steps for masking are different for each program. So in another program, the masking may be a menu or function, and many times it's called a clipping mask, not a layer mask. But again, the idea behind what you're doing and the steps are similar. So as you start your design development for your next season, this is a great way to quickly test out and potentially eliminate or narrow down color and fabric ideas. And for most brands, most of their collection consists of carry-forward styles. So this is a quick way to ideate on new fabrics and colors for old styles. Thanks for watching today's video. Make sure you check out the links in the description to download my new free Curvy Girl sketch template. And if you need to learn Illustrator, my Illustrator for Fashion Sketching course. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video if you found it helpful. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next time.